What's up, guys? Rugas808 here. Welcome to Two Trigger Pass. Joined here with Frayed Hero and Fallen Winter. How's it going?
Alright.
Well, today we have our episode on not really like a concept or anything else like that, but on specifically the new Mega Colony stride that's coming out in the next technical booster. Lawless, Mutant, Deity. God, I asked how to say this again. And
Obtirandus.
Obtirandus, there we go. So if you don't know what he does, he's going to be coming out, again, Technical Booster 2. That's going to be in English for us on August 26th. He's a stride for Mega Colony. His skill, which a lot of people are talking about, is an Axe skill, G-Break 2. The cost is Counterblast 2 and choose a card from your hand and discard it. And then the ability is your opponent cannot call units to rearguard until their end of their next turn. So this includes superior calling as well. So I mean,
and this is their GR.
Yeah, this is
Mega
the GR
colonies
well.
At least, yeah.
So I mean, it's pretty it stops your opponent from calling stuff out to rearguard, which is kind of important in this meta, I'd say, or in this in the current decks that are currently out, and that has kind of been out for a while.
Long story short, it shuts down majority of decks plays just because
Well, I wouldn't say a majority, but rearguard reliant decks in general just get shut down.
Which
I don't know.
I feel like is a
Considering
lot,
there's just so
honestly.
many decks that bounce their units or generally prevent them from staying on there, which you can work around, of course, but between that and the other stunning abilities, it does kind of cause problems unless they happen to have these standing skills.
There is a fair amount of decks that aren't only rearguard based, though.
Well, yeah, there's definitely ways around it.
But if you just play anything that's like Aquaforce, Royal Paladin, Bermudas,
Golds.
like golds. We can like keep listing for a little bit of decks that do rely on rearguards, which is kind of like, yeah, this new stride doesn't hit every deck.
Strong enough strides.
They do, but they still rely on rearguards though, especially for
yeah,
for
but I
Aquaforce.
mean, like Nova Grapplers, they can just go double Victoplasma and not care,
Yeah, that's true. I guess
There's
it's
a lot
kind
of decks that get hurt with their main strategies, but they do have a fair amount of fallback strategies to go on, so at least it's fair in that sense.
It more or less also, depending on the deck too, kind of is like a time walk, I guess, in a sense, for for some decks as well. Like, some of the decks that may not have a good backup plan, I guess, as you'd call it. Since, let's see, the only deck that I can think on top of my head that doesn't really have a fantastic fallback plan would be probably maybe Aquaforce.
Yep,
yeah. I mean, the only strat that they currently have that's actually pretty decent-ish, or that actually you can legit use, would be Commander Thavas, which is just like, well, you choose something in the back row.
You already need a field established for that too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, assuming that you just didn't have your entire field just emptied out, or none of your rear guards stood or anything else like that. So, assuming the worst, I guess, if you have just like a back rear guard, then I guess that still stands, but still, yeah.
I mean, I guess it does also depend too, because Aquaforce would largely depend on, well, okay, yeah, I guess it depends on how you build your deck as well, because in the current format where there's not too much Shadow Paladins, I guess they would probably be considering running a lot more Resist, which means they're probably not going to be running as many Stasias and stuff, which would be one of the few things that might actually help you in that situation. And even then, that's only going to do so much.
Yeah. So, like, focusing away from the decks that don't get, or that that they just get curb stomped in a sense, like, what are some of the decks that would be just kind of like shrugs it off and just kind of like, I guess, sure.
I mean,
D-Robos laugh
I don't know, it depends.
really hard.
Yeah, D-Robos don't care.
Oh, that's cute. You're stunning my rear guards. I'll just swing at you and hope you can not get guard breaked, I guess. Good luck.
Guess it also depends for Gear Chronicle, depending on how many next stages you do or don't run, or bind time.
I guess also I feel like
Um,
Kagros too, possibly.
if they play properly, I suppose they
Well, depends, yeah. If
probably
they have the
can.
aces and stuff, it should be manageable.
If they have
Yeah.
the
And
ace
Titan, solid
and
enough.
Titan, if they can
Assuming you
manage
can
the
get
rear
off.
guards
Yeah,
or
so long
get
as you
retire
get...
skills, yeah, as well, yeah.
Since
Makes
wouldn't
sense.
making colonies be kind of considered a rearguard sort of deck as well?
Well, they're not...
Machining's more so or dark face. I mean, they do want the rear guards, but
Yeah, so I mean, like, Titan wouldn't be horrendous then. You know, you get to at least retire some rear guards. Since this would be kind of like more mid to late game anyway, and you probably have at least one or two Titans faced up, so it's just like, you know, getting rid of half, if not most of their field, so it's just, you know, like a trade-off. You just don't get the crit, which sucks, but still better than, you know, having to like stride into Commander Savas and it's just kind of like, this does nothing. Or Title and just cry yourself to sleep, just like, this literally does nothing. Also, so the cost of the effect, Counterblast 2, and like discarding a card from your hand, it like overcosted, or it pretty much like
It's
well enough
fairly
costed?
costed, I believe.
it's fairly costed. It's after they've fully released the set as of, I don't know if it was today or earlier, but they currently have, I believe, 1, 2, 3 different countercharge skills.
Okay.
Since they're perfect guards, they're grade 1, which they can pretty much put into soul and unflip if, I believe it's Dark Device, and at the start of main phase, I believe, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And they also have a stand trigger where at the end phase, Dark Device, if you have a dark, what do you call this? Dark Face. If you have him as your Vanguard or a Vanguard with that name, you can put it back into the deck, stun one of their grade 1 or lower, I believe, regards, and countercharge one. So they at least have 3 different means of getting
Countercharging.
stuff unflips, yeah, which is
definitely going to help them at least become kind of like, I guess referring back to the first original technical booster, kind of like the new Matamas of the set, you know, where you're basically buying the box because in the box it's kind of like, to me it feels like new Matama is first, and then maybe Murakumo second, and then probably Great Natures. Just kind of judging by how often I don't know, I'm not too sure, you know, maybe that's another question right after. Just
maybe Murakumo.
Yeah. Sorry, what did I say?
Iwatama.
Oh, yeah, New Matama's in this set too.
I don't know. I'd
But-
honestly say it's pretty
okay.
even in this set. Like, honestly, a lot of people were saying beforehand, where it's like, oh, you know, wow, Mega Colony got shafted real hard. I mean, Great Nature support
Well,
is pretty decent, and
I think the
Murakumo's
issue,
decent, and then it came out.
the issue with that is, though, people just, they just open their mouth. Oh, they see one card like, oh, the set's bad, and the set's not even like halfway done being revealed, and,
Yeah.
you know.
Which,
Don't
after
even
looking
wait.
at the Mega Colony support, it's pretty decent.
Yeah, it's quite
Their
good.
Amber Clone is good. It's free. It's literally Dark Device, and you get his skill off. It doesn't even cost Counterblast or Soul Blast.
I think the quality of this set's good enough. If you play those clans specifically, you'll be happy with what you got.
Now, what
But
if
if
you
you're
want to
looking
like
to
get
try to
into
jump
that?
ship for meta,
Yeah.
well, that's a different story. I mean, they're not like hyper meta decks, but if you
Yeah.
like those clans, you got good enough support.
So this would be probably on the time, like for me, let's say, like, you know, what set was it? GBT03, I think it was. Yeah, when Murakumo was getting support again. Like I
Yeah.
remember being on the fence about it, and then I never really built it. But I was on the fence. With this would probably be a good time to, like, if you're wanting to get into one of these clans, to probably just maybe start off again, just get into one of these.
Well,
Um,
definitely made them up to par with the rest of the clans for the most part.
Yeah, which is great, and probably like what I was saying, Mega Colony is probably going to be the top thing, or top clan from this set, and then probably, depending on who you're asking,
Actually, I
Murakumo or
think Great
Nature.
Nature personally would be the better supported thing in this set.
I'm sure there's someone in the comments right now just kind of angrily typing like, "You don't know what you're talking about," and I'm
And then
gonna
there's
reply
me
back
who
with,
honestly thinks Murakumo got a pretty good run with this set, considering Shadow
Oh
Stitch
yeah, they
is
did
just
too.
a stupid keyword. Like,
"Oh yeah,
it's
Are you
it's
at
so
5 yet?
pressure oriented. I have news for you. Do you want damage? No. I'm so sorry. I hope you're ready to guard like 5 attacks. Like, their cards are that keyword is just really good. Which, if you guys don't know, is Shadow Stitch, which pretty much means whatever the skill is activates if the attack does not hit. And there's a bunch of skills that pretty much get more units out or countercharge for practically no effort. So it pretty much turns into a reverse version of like, oh, if you hit Vanguard, unflip damage. No, it's if they didn't let you hit, you unflip the damage. And just, the skills are pretty good. It is debatable which one is better, but
yeah." It's kind of like the technical booster one as well. I mean, the Nubatamba's, at the time it was like clearly that was above, and then right after that, like the other two were kind of like, you can argue either or. Both of their support was pretty good, but there's clearly just one clan that just outshined and had the holy
I
shit
don't know.
sort of skills.
Tachikazes are pretty dumb.
Oh yeah, Gaia Emperor. Oh my goodness, that's so.
Guy Emperor is so free. Honestly. I mean,
And Spike Brothers still does things
just
too.
and Spike Brothers, once in the right hands, Rising Nova hurts real hard because Miracle Ace is a thing.
Yeah.
If any of you guys have seen the video, I believe, Living Proof,
Yeah, there's living proof.
where he just straight up bodies his opponent with like his entire hand pretty much with an insane amount of soul, and just flat out destroys a Angel Feather deck, which, as you know, can like plus and stack power and everything, and that just ran them over with G Guardians, multiple ones of them, and that was insane. So I guess similarly to that, in my opinion at least, it is pretty even overall, at least to me. It seems that way, just because everything had good points to it, and there's nothing that's like flat out they got shafted really hard at this point.
Yeah, so the technical boosters have been pretty good for the clans that, again, that haven't really been like getting support. So like the first one, Nubatama, Tachikazes, and Spike Brothers, and then this one, Murakumo, Mega Colony, and Great Nature. So it's definitely a pretty smart move on Bushiroad's part for making up for the fact that they have like 20 million different clans and they don't fully support all of them. So it's kind of a good way to just kind of get more of the clans that they don't support and just give them more support, because imagine a lot of people were complaining about my favorite clan or my deck that I was playing because I like how it plays is just not getting support, and I just get utterly curb stomped the entire time because my support is just old. So it's pretty nice. Was there anything else in this technical booster that you guys were really excited, or I guess like wowed about, or something like that?
I'm wowed
know
about
about
how
Big
terrible
Belly.
machining. No, I just want to point out machining
man,
got
that
shafted
mirror
really hard
match.
though. I mean, they got good strides, but the two cards, besides they do have the triggers now. They finally have enough crits to run basically 12 crit if they really want to. All machinings, which is nice. But their two support cards, the grade 1 and grade 2, are not amazing by any means. But besides that, I mean, Mega Colonies do have a good deck, which both of them can be, but just the support Machinings got specifically was not what they probably needed.
Oh yeah, that's for
But
sure.
yeah. But yeah, you're saying about Big Belly though?
The fact that it's a quite fantastic card, especially, in those matchups that
Oh, yeah.
don't let them do stuff.
What did you do again? Actually?
It stood basically rear guards on
Oh,
hit.
right,
equal
yeah.
to
It was just in the last episode. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good card.
Restanding regards is pretty good or something, especially when you're stacking a bunch of power on them.
Yeah, again, so if you, for the people listening that don't know what Big Belly does, he, Stride for Great Natures, Act once per turn, G-Break 2, cost is Counterboss 1, and choose pretty much a card named him from your G-Zone face up. And then the skill is choose one of your rear guards, and it gets plus 4,000 for each face up card in your G-Zone until end of turn. Choose one of your units until end of turn, it gets auto rearguard / vanguard. When this unit attack hits a vanguard, choose up to the same number of your other rearguards as the same name of face up cards in your G zone and stand them. So basically, if you hit, or it sounds like if the selected unit hits, you get to stand as many rearguards as face up G zone you have. So that's pretty good or something. Just give all your power to that one rear guard and just kind of like, sup, hope you have a perfect guard for this. I don't know, was there anything else in this set that's interesting or noteworthy?
I mean, there's a bunch of random commons and rares that are actually quite good too, but a bit hard to
I'd say if anything, the most interesting things are honestly the strides and stuff that all the clans got. So
I
like,
don't know, man. There's a lot of good common and rare support.
oh well, yeah, definitely. I mean, I was just looking at the Mega Colony stuff like recently, and yeah, that they have a bunch of stuff, and they have way more soul charging going on and stuff, and ways to do that now. So they don't even gotta try to do any awkward plays and stuff like that. I mean, besides their regular like name specific crits and stuff like that. So I mean, they've got that going on, and then Great Nature got all their fancy defensive stuff, and apparently getting all those things where they're pretty much untouchable by other skills and stuff, as long as they've got the name specific vanguards going on.
Also, I completely forgot that from this set too, what people were freaking out when he got revealed, which is Dueling Dragon Emperor Zangeki. Since I don't know, like we'd be so tempted to build the Zanbaku Zangeki deck, just even though I know it's not gonna be that good, but it's just still for the fact that they gave Zanbaku like a support card, which actually translate into what cards, or pretty much like the new stuff that's out, like I'm guessing.
I've seen both sides of the coin though, honestly, with this card, because at the same time, personally I think it's hilarious and awesome just because we kind of called something like this a long time ago with our group, where it would have been really cool to get some fancy thing that did something along the lines of, rewriting prevention or striding prevention or stuff like that. So I mean, this is probably like the next best thing. But I've definitely seen a lot of people who are hoping for just other archetype support instead of kind of shoehorning this new quote-unquote archetype that wasn't really an archetype and now it is, with this kind of like support when other things may necessarily want it.
Yeah, I mean, well,
like Shiryuki or
whatever. Yeah, Shiryuki
yeah.
and the other sort of stuff. Yeah, that would have been cool to see too. It was funny. Like a few days before this got released too, I was talking with one of my coworkers, and he was gonna go into the set anyway, and then we're joking around, just going like, oh yeah, Zanbaku's totally gonna get support, and me and him totally thought it was gonna be, if he wanted to stride, you have to like ditch an extra card, or it would cost one more grade or something. But this works out too. But it's just like, yeah, it's kind of nice to see Zanbaku get support. It's just, it's a shame that it's just probably not going to do enough, like in a normal game, for it to be good or anything. But it's still hilarious to, to play with, because especially if your opponent's like, hasn't seen this card, and they're just kind of like, yeah, whatever, you're running like Zanbaku and this new thing, whatever.
Zanbaku, okay, cool. So ride into Phantom Blaster Abyss, activate Legion, attack. Oh
yeah, it's like,
I guess I'm discarding twice. Gotcha.
Well, good job, you minus yourself.
So how's that minus on top of a minus?
Oh yeah,
thought so.
I hope you're ready for next turn. I got a surprise for you.
Even worse if it's one of the ones that actually like hard minus you from your hand.
Oh yeah.
The really awkward moment when they committed and didn't realize, and they don't have enough to restand after the skill.
Oh my god. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's gonna be someone's story somewhere down the line. It's just like, yeah, man, I didn't realize what this card did, and then I minus like 4 cards in hand. I
committed, and then I realized I couldn't restand.
And then I realized I just cried a lot in the inside.
And then I turn ended.
Yeah.
I lost drive checks too. Fun. But yeah, it seems interesting. But I mean, just with the other card, speaking of Murakumos and the other stuff that was in there, there's Yusuye Tenma, the GR, or actually no, he's a triple R. Is it? Yeah, he's a triple R, actually. Where pretty much he flips a copy of himself over at Generation Break 2, and until end of turn he gets the Shadow Stitch ability, where you counterblast 1, or at the end of the battle that a unit attacked Vanguard and it didn't hit. If you do this, you search your deck for another copy of this, or search for a card with the same card name as the unit that attacked. You call it to rearguard and shuffle your deck. So with enough counterblast and a proper rearguard setup, or one that can actually like gain power, you just mass swing at your opponent until they let it hit. And they do this with any of your rearguards. It's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Alice, sort of support, where if you have enough counterblast and enough copies of blah blah blah, then you get to do like 13 million attacks, and you just kind of go all out, I guess. But it's just not really as like supported as Alice, just because Alice you can have grade 1s at restand and stuff like that too.
Well, I mean, they've got a bunch of stuff too. I mean, they have their restand already, which with the new set is probably far easier to do, and there's already people talking about how you can restand Homer Raider twice with a proper setup, which is really awkward, I believe, but I mean, it's doable.
It's still an option.
And then there's this card with paired, if you could pull it off, with that one unit where, like I said, can countercharge. If there's a way to give that power, then that's already giving it the ability to pretty much, if it doesn't hit, unflip a damage and then counterboss 1 and bring something else out, so you did it for free, or bring itself back out. And I don't know, they just have a bunch of they just have a lot more pressure now, which is really nice for the deck.
Yeah, they're
especially
just
since they could already put pressure even more.
They're just mainly updated for the new stuff that's out, basically, so it's really nice.
Yeah.
And then so the new keywords, we kind of touched upon Shadow Stitch and how good that actually is. Like it's
yeah.
God, that's gonna be really annoying. It's as mean as it sounds, it's probably a good thing that it's not on any of the like really top tiered decks, because holy crap, that would just be broken. Because you put that on and any of the
well,
other,
I mean, imagine just sticking that on Nubutama.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh
Or
god.
it's just, hey, if it hits, I do stuff. If it doesn't hit, hey, guess what? I'm doing stuff. Good luck.
Yeah, best of luck. We wish you
But-
luck. But yeah, the other other
Uh.
keywords, opinions, since
Um,
Dark Device is
well, I guess
pretty good.
Yeah,
Success
So-
is actually quite good.
yeah, because it's so simple for most decks. But I guess we'll just start with Dark Device because that's a Dark Device is pretty much if all the units, all your opponent's rear guards, I believe, in the same column as whatever the unit you called with Dark Device, if they're rested, then then it has Dark Device until end of turn, which pretty much means sorry, if the rear guards
Units.
on your opponent's side of the field, or the units, sorry, are rested, all of them, then whatever the skill is activates pretty much. It's one of those keywords where you just meet the requirements and to activate the skill, similar to like oh man, I'm just blanking out. I forget but it's one of those ones where it's more of a requirement than an actual like I don't know, like a status like Harmony or like Success or Blaze, I suppose.
It just kind of happens.
But yeah. But overall, it's pretty decent. Not as good as Shadow Stitch in my opinion, but it's really easy to pull off just because either they have to work around not having the units rested, which probably makes the turns a lot more awkward or forces them to not attack with things at all or with those units, but
yeah, and then
overall it's pretty solid.
yeah,
and
I mean it just kind of
Success.
happens. And then Success, in my opinion, is kind of like the weaker of the three, but it's still, it's still good. But it's something that you still have to work towards, as opposed to the other ones. They're kind of like,
I wouldn't say you really have to work toward it in Great Nature.
I mean, all you need is a 16
It's kinda
column
given.
and one boost, and it's pretty much already activated. And they have so many ways to activate it. Even with, I believe the lowest you can do is a, 12k column and boost that column twice, and it's already activated.
I guess.
I mean,
but
it's yeah.
Well, you just rely on another card that you have though. So, I mean,
But
I
they're
mean-
just inherent
well,
cards
okay.
that give you.
Let's look at it this way. If honestly, Success is probably better than Dark Device only because Dark Device relies on your opponent to play into the skill or force you to use your skills to rest their units in the first place, which is doable, but still forces you to play around your opponent. Whereas Success is all reliant on your own skills to pump those rear guards up, which is pretty easy with most of their skills, and unless they have something that minuses your power, isn't really going to do anything to you or prevent you from doing so.
mhm.
Is a
Okay.
way to look at it, I guess. And they have a lot of ways to gain power. And it should count triggers as well, right? As long as you didn't swing with it beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
So, even more so. It's kind of similar to the, what is the Dimension Police
Cosmic
one?
Heroes.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little different because a lot of their stuff pumps during main phase, but it's same concept overall where you can pretty much just stack power on things and then watch the rest of their skills go off all over the place. And they're very... I don't know, it's one of those type of decks, and if I'm not mistaken, a lot of the Success skills are pretty decent as well.
Oh yeah, they are.
Even let's see, what does their stand trigger do? Oh yeah, their stand trigger, where it just pretty much needs Success. You put it into the soul, giving you soul. Not sure what uses it in Big Belly, but it pretty much allows you to recall whatever just died, preventing it from getting retired effectively. So there's also that. I didn't actually check too many of the Great Nature ones, but yeah,
So I guess
Or wasn't? Yeah.
or anything else before
No, no.
I was gonna move on.
Oh yeah, no.
I guess so.
Should be.
When August 26th comes by, you know, everyone gets the technical booster, and the you know, the following day they start going to tournaments and stuff. Like, you know, I'm gonna guess a lot of people, in my opinion, is gonna be running Mega Colony, Great Natures as well, and then probably like a few rogue decks running Murakumos. So what would probably be, you know, like for the people that's watching and might be interested in, like what would be, you know, good decks to maybe play against that, since
The normal meta decks right now.
okay, yeah,
Yeah, they're still. Most of them are still field.
Reliant.
Not heavy reliant, but they still want their field. So, literally the stuff that stops it now: Chaos Breaker, Link Joker in general, Kaguro. Anything that can really ruin their field is gonna give them a bad time. I mean, brawlers might actually be a little more effective now, just because they don't require rear guards to pretty much ruin an opponent's field. Although their lack of general hand advantage is still probably going to be a problem, because a lot of them can put pressure pretty hard. But yeah, like just pretty much control is still going to be pretty key when Technical Booster comes out.
yeah, and that's if you guys, again,
Although that's
if you're looking
the
for
game.
yeah, if you guys are just looking for, you know, decks to play that mode, that would be good. So, you know, just be on the lookout. Make sure on the weekend to not play anything that's like Aqua Force, or, you know, anything really reliant. You know, Angel Feathers would probably be. I don't know. How would Angel Feathers still fare out? Like, still fairly okay?
How
They can
they're
kind of work,
normally
but
are.
they still have a.
They have Refros. That's all they need.
This is how Refros at 4.
I mean, I guess it depends on what the Refros successfully does, though, wouldn't it? Oh, actually, wait, no, never mind.
They don't
Rescue
have
can
defeat
still...
slayers. They don't have denials. They don't stop Angel Feathers from playing the game, really. I mean, mildly, Mega Colony. But yeah, rescue's a thing.
Oh yeah, the other clans, yeah, definitely. Mega Colony would be the only one that I can really see directly influencing a lot of other decks.
Everything else is.
I mean, if they've got the
what you play it
setup, then
as.
yeah, you're kind of out of luck, because especially if they play stuff like, you know, rescue and stuff like that, then they can stack power and deal damage and stuff as long as they've got the Broken Heart Nurse and stuff, or Refros on field already. But at least you stop them from looping for one turn at least, so you know that's. You take your miracles where you can get them.
All right. So, overall, how do you guys feel about this technical booster? You know, before it comes out and we all get to play and stuff. But
Well, like I said, it's a good set for the clans that are in it. I mean, some people feel like they deserve better support. Like I see a lot of Murakumo players still complaining they need more support, but it's pretty solid support as is.
Oh, which reminds me, rearguard drive checks. Just wanted to point that out.
yeah, what card did that again?
That was actually confirmed, right? That was the.
Yep.
Yeah, that was.
I believe it was a
forget
GR.
Which one was? It was a GR. Yeah, let's look at that. Shibra. Oh yeah, Shibaraku Buster. So, yeah. They need more support, but they've got a Counter Blast 1, So Blast 2, and discard one card from your hand. And you choose a card from your drop zone and return it to your deck. At GB2, where you choose one of your units, you search up to one copy of that card from your deck, and call its rearguard circle, and until end of turn, that unit you called pretty much gets to perform a drive check on the first battle during that turn, or its first battle during that turn. And then at the end of the turn, it goes to the bottom of the deck.
So that's pretty good or something.
So, it's a neutral. So since you discard a card, and you pretty much get a drive check it back on top of the other drive checks you got.
Yeah,
So I mean,
technically neutral, but realistically, it'll probably be a lot stronger than that. If you drive check a trigger, that is. If you don't, then it is a neutral.
I mean, yeah, it's like the other, like striding and stuff, where it's a neutral, but you're getting more drive checks. So you take that as you will.
Yeah. So for the people that back in the day, you know, that used, or even now, you know, if you played Vanguard where it's just like for fun, you know, stupid rules, you have your rear guards do drive checks, because I know we did that. You know, just, oh yeah, rear guard attack, drive check, you know, that shit.
Stand trigger,
You know,
hey cool, stand it again, swing.
yeah, you know, if you
Good times.
if you have ever played that as the gimmicky house rule, or the goofy house rules, then you know it's an actual card now. Rear guards getting drive checks.
But yeah, overall it's pretty solid.
Yeah, it's it feels like it's gonna be like the first technical booster, you know. Hopefully without the out of print status and boxes going back up to, or going to like 40, because that was ridiculous.
No.
I feel like that's another topic for another video, since God, the out of the printing, like wise, how they print stuff for Bushiroad and stuff is just terrible. But anyway, yeah. So hopefully that doesn't happen for this set, but it feels very similar to the first technical booster, you know, where the clans that don't get supported as much are getting stuff, and you know, it'll be great. It'll kind of come and go though. You know, it'll kind of
it'll still probably be rogue decks overall, but regardless of being rogue or not, and not played and represented as much as everything else, it's still going to hold their own.
Yeah.
Against, you know, normal matchups, maybe not so much bad matchups, but you know, that's most decks. So
yeah, and then
yeah.
Anything else, since I was going to give some little words of advice before we end the video? Anything else you guys have to say about the set or anything?
Not particularly.
Not really.
Alright, so I guess before we go, my word of advice for the set though, just kind of looking again back on Technical Booster 1, unless you have a lot of money and /or want to really want to build these decks as soon as they come out, wait. Because Shiranui from the Technical Booster 1, the grade 3 for Nubatamas, that was the on stride, you know, sort of abilities, or you know, the grade 3 that did stuff when you strode on top of it. You know, he went from like 40 to 42 at the highest point, and then now he's like $15. So, you know, I feel bad for the people that bought him at 40, because I know plenty of people bought him at 40, and it was getting stupid. So yeah, again, if you guys really want to do that, you know, buy it for whatever price it is, but it's probably gonna go down, really down, from the original prices. So you might want to hold back on buying stuff, and that's kind of like, I guess, advice on every set that comes out technically, but probably more so for this set, just because again that these are the sets that, or the clans that don't get supported as often, so they're probably gonna dip down in price pretty heavily eventually. So that's my advice. You know, just making sure if you guys, that's sounds like decently okay advice, right?
Well, that is the advice with every set. You should probably wait.
Yeah.
Don't buy into
it's
day one prices.
Yeah, hype is real. If you really want to build that deck, I mean, I know I've done it multiple times, but you know, largely because it's affordable-ish, or it's not like the money deck or whatever it is, or if you can find them cheap because, you know, locals or friend prices and stuff like that. But
if you get friend prices, 'cause
waiting
I know
is
some
a
people
lot.
don't.
Yeah, definitely. But you know, if you can't, or you know that you're gonna have to, you know, go into boxes or singles yourself, waiting is a lot better for your wallet.
Yeah. So, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I shouldn't have mentioned this in the beginning, because it doesn't seem like anyone really stuck around till the end, but if you guys have any suggestions for future videos, be sure to leave it in the comments below. And yeah, also be sure to hit the like button on the video too. Helps us know that that you guys are actually entertained with us talking to each other over the internet and pretending like we're friends or something. I mean like being good friends with each other, right?
No, it's true.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, if you guys too have any suggestions for again for future videos or constructive criticism, be sure to let us know, since we like to hear you guys talk to us. We get lonely and bored. But yeah, hopefully see everyone in the next video, and yeah, see everyone later.
Later.
See you.